Right? You're like,
Hello, good morning. You're watching A New Way of Being, hosted by Avatar Galextra and Andraggon on Facebook Live.
hmm,
We have been, well, at least I have been going through quite a great deal, and you can look at it and see it in my face.
hmm.
What was done to me by Mr. Trump? Guess who else? I believe personally, not only Mr. Trump has been doing this damage to deform my face, I believe that also there are two other people.
Only two?
Much more. But for now, there's those two people.
Okay.
Have been literally trying to jimmy my luck, make me look ugly, in other words.
Hmm.
Set it up so that my face does not look quite the same. This has been going on for decades, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's move this way. We're trying to get the lights
I
in.
would like you to know that
Get the lights
what
in.
has been happening to me is that I am being attacked by, let's say, the Caucasian and European race. Reason? I was looking too good.
Hmm.
They became angry, jealous, prejudiced, ignorant. Well, they were prejudiced before, and decided they're going to do me in. When I started watching um, a show in the United States or Canada,
Can you see
the television,
CNN?
CNN. No, not CNN. I
Before,
was watching a show. I
how far
can't
back?
remember now because you did that. You sort of took me off. I shook off from the
Which one?
memory of what I was going to speak about.
How far back?
Um, don't do that, please.
Okay, sorry. Okay, you're watching a show, TV show.
No, the TV show I was watching, I'm trying to remember, and I
No.
can't remember because he blocked me off. Not because of that I should forget, but I'm forgetting because of what has been done to my mind, my memory. First, I must let you know that I was excellent speaker,
A verbal.
a verbal martial artist.
Hmm.
Now I could hardly pronounce things, and I also have been deformed in the mouth, in the eyes, so that I cannot see very well. And also, they deform different parts of my face, if you can tell. It looks much different to how my face looked before.
Hmm.
Um, these are things that has been done to me by the United States government and the Canadian government.
Hmm.
Who the United States government told you all you have a virus going on and this is what's killing all the people. What they're not telling you is that they're really the ones who are using Mr. Trump and quite a few others to literally undermine the rights of people.
What, to attack human beings from inside the fourth dimension,
Yeah.
infecting the bodies of millions of human beings, killing hundreds of thousands of them using a technology that is thousands of years ahead of the most advanced invention on this planet today.
This was created by gods,
Mhm.
and they stole it from someone in the West Indies and killed
Two
the person.
scientists.
Two scientists that had this developed further, and they stole it, and came to the United States with it, and you started studying it to see what they can do with it. And they, after a period of time, they found out that they were falling into different areas of the use of this machine. By mistake, they would discover some things and then started applying other things to have it work in the way in which they would like it to work.
They
Well,
weaponized
they
it.
weaponized it and have been using it against me. Look, this is what they've turned my body into. And also now calling me old. Do you know why they're calling me old? Because they are the ones who set it up for me to be treated in this manner by these people, these three men, I believe, much more, that have been given the opportunity to terrorize me. So when I was watching this show, and it was done by Chris Como
Cool.
and his sidekick,
Oh, Don
Don
Lemon.
Lemon.
Yeah.
Well, um, they started acting as if I saw them. Don Lemon kissed Chris Como on the side of the face, and I saw that, and they sort of, uh, after a few days or so, they started acting as if I was showing interest in them. And all I was interested in is the shows and what they were doing and how they were doing it and the quality of what they're putting out. And one day I was listening to the show and
Mm.
something happened, and I was wondering why it happened.
Mm.
He showed something that was on him and said that he's
Is that it?
no, he is, oh boy,
Mm.
he is a target.
Oh yes. Okay.
So, and he was saying, I could see it, he recognized I'm a target. So he said, he's a target too. Well, I enjoyed watching their shows, and and him saying he was a target, even though they were really targeting me by everywhere I go, they were terrorizing me literally. I was supposed to be crazy by now.
Mm.
Um, and in that, when they, one of the things that they started doing one day, he was talking to Chris Como, and then he went, did was something took place. I can't remember what it was at this time, but he ended up kissing Chris Como at the side of the face, and a few maybe weeks or so later, they started acting as if I was interested in them as lovers or something like that, and I was not actually interested in any of them in that way. I just wanted to get to know their shows. I liked how they did their work and so, and wanted to learn how they managed to get it working so well, and the different things they spoke of, the information they had. Well, they thought I was interested in them in the wrong way because I asked my husband to if he can turn on to their station because I'd love to listen to their show again.
Mm.
And so after that, I just lost my taste for listening to their show because of the way in which they acted as if I was interested in their show, interested in them, sorry. And one thing led to another, and different things started happening. I was being abused in the streets, in the home, different places that we go,
Mm.
and wondering why this was happening to me. And also discovered to my daughter, Mahogany, was terrorized, persecuted, did bad things too, unlawful things. And would you believe Mr. Trump, Mr. Como, and those working for the CNN uh, seem to think that I can't remember. This stuff is slipping my mind. um, I can't remember.
Mm. Blocks done to her brain by those using this technology to plunge a
They're
knife.
using the machine in the background, and this
Hmm?
is what they do. They use that machine to block you from being able to get access to your own information.
Hmm?
Remember, I was a verbal martial artist. I was not a fool. I was someone who was highly developed and still is. The
Hmm?
problem is, I am losing access to my own material simply because of men who are using um, their own ignorance and jealousies to try to undermine me for being a female and an African at that, that was so well versed in speaking about information that was necessary to be spoken of to make changes in a world that needed help. And this is what they did to my face.
Hmm.
And after that, started calling me old. Now, my husband and I look just as old.
I look
Would
older.
you believe this is what they're doing? They're doing this intentionally, widening my nose, pulling my teeth aside, taking one from this side and putting it next to another one right next to it, instead of allowing my mouth to remain the way it is, and terrorized my whole face, terrorized my body, persecuted me wherever I went, set
Hmm.
up people to make loud noises specifically so that they can drive me crazy.
Hmm.
This is what Mr. Trump, Mr. Trudeau, Mr. And all the others were doing to literally terrorize me. They killed my family. They
Hmm.
killed my mother, my father, a brother, and a few others.
Sister.
A few others.
Well, Okay.
Yes, them too. But there's 5 members that were killed. But I somehow believe that my other 2 brothers might be dead by now because of what they have been doing to them. Suddenly they got strokes. They ended up in a nursing home. The similar thing was done to our daughter, and she ended up in a nursing home.
Mental
We're not
health
getting on in,
unit.
I don't want to go into all the different things that has been done to her right now. The reason, because she's right now going through a great deal, having to remember the things that has been done to her, and when I speak about them, they hurt her even further.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to right now to make changes to not forget and speak about what was done to her by certain people.
Mm.
But I will put it in paper, and I want the government to recognize that they owe us money and they haven't paid us a cent.
Mm.
And meanwhile, I am also going through traumas because of what is being done.
Mm.
Now they're trying to tell me what I can and cannot do with my body, with my life. And this is the kind of stuff that a society, when they start that kind of behavior, it means that they're trying to control the rights of all beings. And if we are not allowed the right to speak out, which is our natural born right to speak about the wrongs that are being done, that is undermining the rights of other people. And if we do not do that, then we are part and parcel of problem of the society. And this is why the system is going down the drain in terms of how men are behaving and using women to come and play games with your husband.
Mm.
Also, setting it up for trying to force me into sleeping around decades ago. And I would not be a part of it. And I believe that, and the fact that I would not turn myself into some sort of garbage, and I dress how I want, and I have a right to. When you torment and you torture people in all different ways, and you find you can't get them to go crazy, and instead you get them to do things that they figure they should do to let you know that what you did was wrong and you had no right to do these things, and that you need to look at the things from a point of view where if you continue that kind of behavior, the whole society will be going down in quality, and all kind of catastrophes is already taking place in the society. So what do you think is happening now? Why you think the United States and Canada are now partaking in behaviors that is undermining the rights of other people, playing games, won't pay the money they promised to give, and Nancy Pelosi cannot speak to me about the amount that the money that they are supposed to pay us. No one is speaking to us. Meanwhile, all kinds of damage is taking place in our lives. I am being attacked on an everyday basis, 24/7. They're coming inside of this home, this motel we're living in,
Mhm.
and attacking me from head to toe.
Yeah.
Wherever they want to, and wherever we are going, they're following us and attacking and abusing. Your government of the United States is responsible for this kind of behavior, and the Canadian government is now a part and parcel in it.
Mhm.
They have money to pay both countries, and they haven't paid a cent. They said they will pay it, but nothing has been done. They block us from being able to have access to um, any of the systems, without being terrorized and persecuted. On an everyday basis, if we are going outside to get anything, they set up people, police included,
Mm.
to terrorize us on the streets when we're going to and from well, home or
Mm.
wherever we're living, like in this motel we're
Yeah.
living in. Now, they're using people that own the motels and own different places that when we go, to literally terrorize us on their own.
Yes. The gang stuff.
Gang stalking, persecuting to the point where you become angry to I mean, and you're telling the Canadian government that they need to pay the money and pay it now. I need my money now, not when I'm dead. And they're trying to kill me on an everyday basis. They're trying to kill our daughter. They've been doing damage to her. So, they haven't done anything recently, she said. But I believe it's a bunch of lies, that they're doing her things and they're blocking her memory,
Mm.
because they raped her and they were telling her to tell the public, if they ask, because I'm speaking about it, that she didn't get raped by them. Well, they did. I wasn't supposed to say this, and here I am speaking about it. These are things that I would promised I would not speak about, but I have to do this I already did it. So I want this to be heard, that this kind of stuff that is being done to human beings, like that are of color, that is being done by our government and the systems that they're using, everybody in the systems to attack and abuse you. The government and the Canadian government does not want to pay the money, spending their time seeing a lot of things, playing games. One of them said that they will pay $100 billion to us for what I have been put through, and what our daughter has been put through. Also, the United States are supposed to pay the same or a little more because of what they too have done to me, telling the Canadian government to treat me like a terrorist. I
When you
have
were
done
coming,
nothing wrong to anyone.
sorry.
They mark me as something to destroy because I look too good, I talk too well, I spoke too well, and I dealt with situations in a way in which shows people the truth and the right way in which they can do things where they can survive rather than have people run their lives and finding themselves dead on the other side. And this is what the government has been doing, killing people out and calling it coronavirus.
Mm.
You don't believe me? The time will come when you will understand what I'm telling you, and the belief will show itself. You cannot use and abuse people for being a nationality. Number one, you were born in this world to access quality behavior and treat everyone with dignity, because if you don't, you will find a society that I'm seeing that is highly corrupt,
Mm.
run by the government of the United States, the government of Canada, and all over the world. You know what someone said recently to me, because I spoke against the government in Canada and the United States.
The man who told us about minister in the government of uh, Putin in
Hmm.
Russia, who apparently spoke words that he did not agree with, and a day or so later, she was thrown off her balcony by whoever did it, working for this government, which is insane and despicable.
Well, someone was trying to tell me that that same thing will apply to me if I by what was said.
Mm.
I had to speak about what is wrong because I am here to do that. So you go ahead and kill me. You have been trying to kill me for decades.
Yeah,
You haven't
since
gotten
birth.
away with it so far.
Mm.
This is what you did to my hair. No hair. Stunt the hair on this side.
Mm.
This side is not growing very quickly, and it's doing, and they are cutting it all the time.
Hmm.
So, ladies and gentlemen, who is the criminal? And why are you allowing criminals to run the lives of other people, destroying their lives as they go along life, and then trying to kill out the rest of their family and kill out actually all of their family that I know of, my family? This is what they did to me. Every time I take out this dark spot here, they put more back. If you notice, this is what they've done to me. This is what your government is doing to me because of jealousy, and I still don't look good right now anyway. So what is the sense? Why are they doing that and then calling me old when myself and my husband look just as old?
Hmm. Because of who you are and why you're here
And
on this
because of their
planet.
prejudice, and they want to own all men and the African men, and they figure that they could not get an opportunity to destroy my man, even if I don't look quite in the way I looked before.
Mm.
They did this to me. They need to pay the money, and I want to leave that insane country from the
Mm.
United States to Canada. I would like to have my money, and they're tapping. You know what they're doing too? They're using that machine to tap my skin, no matter where they tap, to pull my
To loosen.
loosen my skin
Hmm.
so that my skin is falling.
Hmm.
This is what your insane government is doing to my family,
Mm.
to me, to
What,
our daughter,
what about
to our son.
they've been attacking your
They attacked
knee?
every joint in my body.
Mm.
They went inside and started attacking the ligaments.
Mm.
They
And,
attacked my toenails. You should see what they did to them.
mm.
They attack under my feet. Today, they put some sort of stone inside of a pair of shoes that my husband bought for me for because it was my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
These are the people that have been doing this damage and calling me, sending up anybody and everybody to call me old.
Mm.
They even used this gentleman, um, the singer in that house that the twins were fixing.
Oh, Michael
Blue
Bublé.
Blay. Blue Blay would not look at me. I look so terrible.
You do?
I do now too. I'm not looking anything like I did before after they were finished doing me in, and they still haven't stopped.
Mm.
They're still attacking all parts of my body. My head still, look. They grade me here. They grade me there. They also they are destroying my hair until look, even this, it was very thick still. They're cutting it from the bottom up and you can see pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Look, you can see all the cuts they have made, many different cuts. And my hair was much thicker and longer and full.
Yes.
This is what your government of the United States, run by Mr. Trump today,
Mm.
and the one in Canada, run by Mr. Trudeau. This is what they have done to me.
Mm.
Hmm? Tooth sticking out here, I'm supposed to be a warthog.
Mm.
Hmm? Spread my nose out so that I look like something is wrong with me. An ugly African.
But you don't look ugly.
They're treating me that way.
They're trying to make the
They're persecuting me that way. Sure, sorry.
they're trying to make the being who is the most magnetic, radiant being on this planet today look as if she is not beautiful. But the beauty comes from inside the core of one's being, and it shines like a beacon when that being is clear minded and clear sighted and doesn't carry all kinds of devices and vices and problems inside themselves because it is the Avatar teaches we're beings of living light. So they can try to diminish her physical beauty, but the radiance and magnetism of the being she is, the one who lived as Lord Jesus, the one is also known as the great goddess and the eternal leader of all the gods, they cannot diminish that beauty, but they certainly have been trying to do that 24/7 for most of her adult life.
Also, too,
Mm.
thank you.
Mm.
Also, too, they're using this machine to change the weather,
Oh, yes.
to attack human beings, to use Mr. Como and his big brother to try to force me to go with Mr. Como and leave my husband to make them happy,
Mm.
as if I have no life, but they do, and I must do what bow to what they want when they should be bowing to me.
Mhm.
It's time that humankind realize that no person or group is superior to anyone. Remember that. You're not superior.
We're equals.
We're supposed to be equals forever, but you couldn't be equal with me.
Mm.
You're not developed enough to be an equal.
Mm.
Not one of you in this world.
True.
You need to make changes to upgrade yourselves to the kind of beings that you were born to be. Get access to the qualities you have within
Mm-hmm.
and get the true treasures you're carrying.
Mm.
Stop playing games and acting as if you're superior when you act like inferiors that is trying to be superior without having the dignity to know what superior, inferior, and inferior means.
Mm.
I'm seeing people that are spending their time using a different language rather than speaking the English language because the majority of people in this world listen to the English language. They would not do that. They instead play games in the language that they're speaking and spend their times behaving and belittling the rights of other people,
Mm.
behaving very badly. acting like some people who are supposed to be superior, but they behave like inferiors.
Mm.
They don't know how to treat people. They behave irresponsible, and they act as if they're superior to everybody or anybody. The only person that can act superior are those who are giving you the kind of language, the information that is necessary for people to grow and develop to be the kind of beings that they were born to be rather than what they have become, because they're listening to a government in different countries in the world that are mentally ill, or if they weren't, they would not be behaving in the manner in which they are.
Mm.
You can't treat people like junk and turn them into junk because you don't know how to be respectful of their culture. You're so disrespectful that you're lying, you're cheating, you're doing all the evils, and then blinding me, blowing up parts of my body, terrorizing my person,
And more.
lying
Lots
and
more.
telling people that I raped my little sister.
Mm.
You're mentally ill.
Mm.
That's why you're speaking that way. If you had any kind of integrity or sense of dignity, you wouldn't lower yourself to lie. Literally, that is what you all call, um,
Going along to get along.
no,
Mm.
no, I forgot what it is I was speaking about. But
Yeah, that's from the blockage done
not going
to.
along to get along, however,
Okay.
but practicing a certain kind of behavior
Were you living a lie? Because you're
where,
talking about.
where you're literally not just living a lie. If it was that alone, that wouldn't be okay, true, because it's what led to this kind of evil that is taking place,
Mm.
where you're terrorizing people just for being.
Mm.
You're robbing people of their rights, having people, paying people to deform other people's faces, deform their rights to be able to be feel free to live in a society that they create for you. And
Mm.
you turn around and have been terrorizing people for being a color, for being a nationality that you don't decide that you don't like, and they're the ones who gave you your life.
Mm.
If I were you, I would get down on my knees and start thanking that person or people who gave you your lives. Treat them with dignity, with respect. Don't expect when you do damage to people that they must come in a gentle way and speak to you. I'll tell you why. Because once you start terrorizing and persecuting human beings, and they've reached a point of that tyranny instilled in them so deeply that they set up scenarios to make sure that you get into some kind of trouble so they can lock you up.
Mm.
This is the kind of stuff that your government is about. This is how they're using the police. The police do not help the public anymore, only the government.
Mm.
They're not there for the people. They were the ones in the background doing what the government told them, to turn them into criminals by lying on them and doing things, forcing them to do things that they shouldn't do.
Imposing codes of silence on people working for governments.
Yes.
Hmm.
No government has a right to own or control anyone. They came here as the servants of the people.
Mm.
And that's what they're supposed to be, and they still are, but they are not behaving that way. And instead, this is the kind of stuff that they're doing to other people's skins. This is the kind of stuff they're doing to destroy your face. See, black stuff all over. This is what they're doing.
Mm.
This is the kind of stuff. Balding your head on one side, cutting their hair so much. My hair was down to past my waist, and I had a full head of hair.
Yes.
Mine was not joking.
Your mum was known as the lady with the two
Big
big
plaits.
plaits, massive plaits. Lady
Yes.
Yvonne.
And she would go to her niece to get them cut. And the niece would do a bad job on her.
Mm.
They killed that family, my family out.
Hmm.
Yet the United States and Canada is responsible for the death of all of my family and the damage that was done to our daughter.
Yes, the
The
one.
damage that was done to our son too.
Mhm.
We want this insanity taken seriously because your society is about to go down
Mm.
in quality and in life.
Mm.
Because what you did not care about the rights of others. You decided that you were going to steal anything that other people have, especially people of color, so that you can now show the people that you own them and you can steal anything from them. And
Mm.
it's not stealing as far as they're concerned because they have a right to have all that you have and more. This is what was done to me. Look at my face. Look at my mouth. Look at my nose. Look at my eyes. Look at my cheeks. This is what your government, using Mr. Trump, using this gentleman,
Mr. Trudeau.
not Mr.
Well,
Trudeau
people
alone.
working in the
I'm
media.
speaking about the people that are working on the CNN line. They are
Mhm.
coming here too and attacking and abusing me and my family.
Mm.
Well, I don't know about my husband, but I know that I am being attacked. Look up, you can see all the different things that could show you that there's something wrong going on here.
Yes.
And then turning to call me old and setting up females to go after my husband.
Mm.
And my husband, I will leave that aside. That's between us.
Mm.
I would like to know. I would like my money and I would like it now. I would like it within this week, the end of this week. We want this money because we do not like your world, not your world. We do not like the way you behave. And we do not like the kind of treatment that you have been giving us. Do not like how you have twisted my mouth,
Mm.
twisted my face, destroyed my hair, put color into gray it, and then turn around and is telling me that I'm gray, I'm old.
Mm.
They don't even know my age. So I told them I'm 71. That's what my husband told me.
Well,
He told me that years ago. And guess what? I believed him because I couldn't remember what my
years
age
ago.
was after, yeah.
Well, I told you what year you arrived on the planet, which
No, but
was.
you were telling me what my age was.
Mhm.
You were literally saying it aloud in order for others to hear so they could ridicule me.
Mm.
You were also saying different things that was supposed to put me down,
Mm.
and I loved you. I still do.
Mm. I
But I'm
love you too.
disappointed. I'm disappointed in the manner in which you allowed these men to control you and force you into behaving in a manner in which you should not have, and
Mm.
you were shown how to conduct yourself.
Mhm.
And they set up all these females to come and play up to you, and now you're playing all kinds of games, eye games with people in the streets wherever we go.
Mm.
I have no rights.
Oh,
That's what
something.
your government
Sorry.
set up for my life. That's what they're using Mr. Trudeau. They're using Chris Cuomo. They're using his brother,
Mm.
who he tried to throw on me,
The governor of New York State.
throw me on him, as if I'm supposed to go because I'm some whore.
Mm.
No, y'all are the whores. We don't do that. You are the ones doing it. You are the ones that have set up to abuse and terrorize me and use my husband to help you
Mm.
and anybody else that you can use. You are the ones who terrorized me all of my life in the United States to Canada, and it's still going on. They promised to pay me the money soon. They wouldn't tell me when, and they would not give me my money, and this has been going on for decades.
Mm. But when the shot close like this, it gives the face a different look. Back here, it's a different look. Oh, they keep fading the camera in and out. You haven't been noticing. I have because my eyesight is a little better than the avatars.
Ladies, I've got a surprise for you.
Mm.
If you ever come around me with my husband
Mm.
and you have terrorized me and they're sending other people to watch me as if I'm going to beat up on my husband, even though they are beating up on me on an everyday basis,
Mm.
these are the people that should be put in jail. These are the people that belong where they belong, in a jail. Why? Because they think they own this world, that they can now treat people anyhow they want, even a God who is here.
Mm.
Trying to show you the right way, because the wrong way is definitely taking you all down quickly. This is what they did to me. Look at, you see my teeth? This is what they did to me.
Mm.
They didn't care. They did it when my teeth were proper. Nothing was wrong with it. They did it after they did this damage to me before. I had to put in some
Implants.
implants.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what they did? Mr. Trump came and started taking, I don't know if Miss Chris Cuomo and the others were with them, with that and that, but I'll tell you something. They are a part of it. And they have another friend who is supposed to be a part of it, who laughed me out to
Mm.
ridicule me. His name is,
Is he a medical doctor or?
he was working as a media with Chris Cuomo. You know who I'm
Oh, you
speaking
mean
of.
Don
Don,
Lemon?
whatever, Lemon.
Uh-oh. Whatever. Mm. Okay.
These are the people who have been terrorizing us inside of this motel that we are living in right now. These are the people who have been terrorizing us wherever we lived in Canada. And in the United States, I was going through that.
Mm.
These are the people that deformed my face, my body, robbed me of my rights to look good, feel good. You both have to pay 100 billion, but start off with the 20 billion because we need money right away. So 20 and 20 is 40 billion, and you'll pay the rest after a while.
Mm.
But we want all our money. We have people to help. And you're playing games with other people's lives. And what I was just receiving just now is a rape in my womb by Mr. Trump,
Yes.
Mr. Chris Cuomo, or his brother, or all at the same time, because they did damage to my family too. We want our money, and we want it now, and we want the money immediately, because we have a life and we need to go and look after it. We're not asking you for, and we're not begging you for anything. We're saying that the United States and Canada owes us money, and we need our money immediately.
Mm.
And we're not taking no for an answer. We would advise that you let us know, and we want to know right away.
Mm.
Remember, we did not create this for ourselves.
There's a
Why,
picture
why do you block this thing from?
that the avatar is trying to move from the wall, taken off her um, by someone who was a member of an African Canadian group.
Honey, can you take?
You know,
This is what I looked like before Mr. Trump, Mr. Cuomo, and the rest of the evil acts cult was doing to me. This is who they did. This is what they did. This is what they destroyed. This is why my face looked the way it does now. Jealousy, prejudice.
mm.
The Caucasian women could not deal with the fact that an African woman could look that good. But
And
what I
conduct,
have been, sorry, go ahead, hon.
no, and conduct yourself with grace, class, integrity, and poise as a master, who is also a god, something which men cannot handle, because we're taught that gods are always men like us, male beings, and that they made us in their image and took a bone from a man and gave and created a woman they call Eve to serve him for the rest of their days as is helpmate and companion and subservient partner.
And
Not true.
they stole the outfit. They stole the cat
Yes,
and the whole outfit. They've stole many of the other outfits too.
yes. But
This
you,
is what and they've terrorized me for putting on my robes.
yeah, spiritual
So when I
garments.
started putting on the clothes, they wanted me to wear tight clothes.
Mm,
And that's why you see me in tight pants,
mm,
because I was being persecuted and I still was being persecuted. They were sending out people, police, the Niagara police and different police to come and persecute us when we go out to the streets to buy things
mm,
like groceries.
yes.
Today, we were terrorized in a bus that was supposed to drop us to our destination,
Hmm.
and the bus driver was driving as if he didn't care about our lives. He was tossing the bus back and forth, up and down,
Hmm.
as if he did not care what happens to that bus. And then he told my husband that my husband must go and sit on the other side, and he should not be sitting next to me. Why? Because he said so. This
Um,
is what the bus driver was doing. Honey, go
there
ahead.
were two buses we took. One to go to a mall in Niagara Falls, and one to come back. The one we took to come back home to this motel. When we got on the bus, he told us that, and there were three people on the bus. The bus ride is free in Toronto, so in Niagara Falls, as it is, I suppose, in most Canadian cities, because of COVID-19 crisis that they're speaking about. And so he tells us that we are not supposed to sit beside each other. So I'm thinking he's joking because we've not taken the bus in months, especially since this COVID-19 pandemic, as they call it, has been spreading across the planet. So when he said that, I thought he was joking. So I said, hmm? And I asked him, and he said, we're not supposed to sit next to each other because we're supposed to sit 6 feet apart from each other, even though we're a couple, a married couple. So I'm asking him, what does he mean we are supposed to sit apart from each other? We're a couple, we're on the bus going to a mall. And he says, that's the regulation, and we have to, if you don't like it, you can let us off at the next stop. And then he tells us that only one of us is supposed to go grocery shopping, not two. So I'm telling this, we're looking at this man who's behaving like he's some kind of Nazi um, driver, telling us that not only do we have to cannot sit together, but that only one of us should be going grocery shopping. So um, we left him alone after I made some comments about what he's saying to us is unfair, unjust, and unacceptable. And when we got off the bus, I told him that his system is corrupt and he was trying to tell us something or another. And so we left this man alone. But what they're doing with this COVID-19 pandemic that has been created by the same people attacking the Avatar and others is that they are using it to keep human beings locked up inside their homes or quarantined, and doing so to try to break the will, to try to drive them crazy, to try to destroy the human race using this disease that they decide is causing human beings to become infected with this virus and forcing government to spend all kinds of money to keep the economies from going under and to keep the people from starving. So this crisis that has been created by the ones who are attacking the Avatar and her family and others is being used as a cover for these criminals to commit these crimes from inside the fourth dimension using the same technology created by gods, given to two West Indian scientists, weaponized by the American military, and then used as a weapon to attack human beings from inside the fourth dimension. And because you've been taught that the fourth dimension is a fictional, fictitious, imaginary place, you have no way, your scientists and experts and the other so called respected professionals have no way of measuring, of identifying, of assessing activities done in the fourth dimension because they're taught in the school systems they have to pay attention only to things that they can use their five senses to measure, evaluate, and assess. So the ones who are attacking human beings are doing so by infecting their bodies with mucus from inside the fourth dimension and then forcing their scientists to find a way to identify and determine what this disease is. It's not COVID. It's not
Look at what they did to my eyes.
sorry.
Look at this.
Mhm.
My eyes are red. They're not, every time I come to do a show, these are the things that they do to me. They're using that technology to deform every aspect of my body.
Mhm. Someone, someone
My
just.
eyes are red
I'm sorry, Avatar.
and I could do nothing about it. Look at it, even the stuff that is on my skin, face makeup, is somehow wiped out. They can do that without you even knowing while I'm speaking to you. Listen, they're shaking my skin. You know what is bringing out? This is coming bigger because of it. It's also loosening all the skin on my body.
Hmm.
And when I'm walking, I can feel it shaking. Ladies and gentlemen, what Mr. Trump, Mr. Trudeau, Mr. Chris Como,
Hmm.
and his
Sidekick Don Lemon.
psychic Don Lemon, and also his brother, who his name is
Oh, Governor. Oh,
Governor Como.
yes, and others.
These are the people, some of the people that are being allowed the freedom to get away with all kinds of criminal activities from the United States to Canada, and have been telling me all through the time they were trying to kill me. Hey, you're not dead as yet. There was this Caucasian man that would come out and ask me every so often.
Hmm.
This is what I was going through in the United States. I have been tormented and tortured by a government in the United States out of jealousy and prejudices that created this situation. They deformed every aspect of my body, and I would like to have my money, and I would like to have the money before this week is up. We are telling you now, Mr. Trudeau, Mr. Trump, and the others who have been a part of it,
Hmm.
we would like to have our money immediately. You did damage. You didn't think that you would be able to get away with it, did you? No, you won't. You are going to pay that money, and you are going to give me back that money that I have a right to, so that I can go and do the things that I would have been doing decades ago when y'all block us from me, from everything I tried to do intentionally. You terrorized me. You killed out my family. You desecrate them.
Hmm. Yes.
I want my money now, not later, not next year, next week. I want it now. And you know why I'm saying it this way? Because what you have done to me have forced me to have to speak to you this way. You and the other nuts that are coming out on the television, behaving like something else,
Hmm.
like they have no morals, no dignity. And the Caucasian women, all of you need to start looking at what you're doing. Not all of you are bad people. I know that. I'm not trying to brand you all bad people. I am branding the ones who have been behaving that way and those who can be bought and sold so easily, because what you are doing is destroying the rights of other people's destiny to be free and live in harmony. And what you are is a catastrophe that is destroying the lives of everybody, including yourselves, without you even knowing. All the damage you're doing to people is coming to you. You will pay for what you have done. whether you like it or not, and you're not coming back in this world. All those who partake in this kind of insanity and robbing people of their rights to be free, you are all going to go down from whatever country you're in this world. You're not going to get away with it if you're doing damage to people in those other countries, thinking you're superior and you must now treat people like you own them. You don't own them. The only thing you own in this world is yourself. Today or tomorrow you die. What do you think you go? Where you think you're going? That's when we decide and determine what must be done with you. You will not be coming back in this world under these conditions. I would advise that you start thinking holistically, respectfully, so that people can now live in peace and harmony.
Hmm. Someone has been posting a number of comments, no name, about things that we're speaking about, and the comments are interesting, and
Go
there are a
ahead.
number of them.
You can
Comments
see them.
posted. Hello there. I hate the government. If you go to Congress website, it was introduced in January 2019, that big stimulus. And it says Adam shipped is evil. Kumo and Lemon are wackos. 5G is being installed. That is killing us all. We have to look into what 5G is. Bill Gates owned the codes. They sold their souls for $1,200. They hate our rights. We are all humans. We should all be free. So this person shares a lot of the views that we are bringing to you about what's being done to human beings using that technology that does not belong in the hands of human beings and using it from inside the fourth dimension to commit all kinds of crimes against human beings, infecting their bodies with mucus, which they are now calling COVID-19, a respiratory disease, and we are putting together a document that will show evidence about what is being done to human beings from inside the fourth dimension by people who are wearing cloaks of invisibility, created with this technology, stolen from two scientists, given to them by gods telepathically, and weaponizing it and using it to commit all kinds of crimes against the avatar, who is also, as we've told you, the one who lived as Lord Jesus 2,000 years ago, and the one who's also known as the God of all gods. So, for those of you who have heard her comments, the passion, the pain, and the information she's sharing on these broadcasts, remember that she's doing so because she's here to show you how to access the treasures that you are, the treasures that you own, and to be able to live in the manner in which you have a right to do, a responsibility, and ability to do. And the billions of our brother gods and the trillions of our sister god who make up the membership of the Committee of Gods have informed the governments of the US and Canada that the debt owed to the Avatar and their family, billions of dollars, must be paid in full. And if it's and also to the weapon that they've weaponized, so the sacred invention, healing invention that they have weaponized and turned into a weapon of painful, awful device, this they must stop using. And if these two commandments are not fulfilled, these two nations will be wiped off the surface of Lady Gaia inside the three oceans surrounding them today. And those who will be rescued are the innocents living amongst the members of the human race, children of all ages and races, and adults with clean minds and hearts of gold who are working in their own lives to help uplift, protect, and support members of the human race and other life forms living on the surface of Lady Gaia today. So, this information that we're sharing with you, sounding the alarm about who's really creating this international crisis and the means they're using to infect human beings, not a virus, but mucus, using this technology that is thousands of years ahead of anything on this planet today. And doing so, knowing that the science and the scientists and the experts in the health field, the medical fields, and others cannot identify at this point the information we're sharing with them because it is supposed to be in the realm of fiction, imagination, and more. But the truth is going to be revealed, and it's time to sound this alarm because the human race cannot be locked up inside their homes for months and months without them reacting and taking steps, painful, sometimes even violent steps, to show that they will not allow themselves to be treated like prisoners and hostages by the governments under the guise that they are trying to keep this virus from spreading, and under the guise that they are taking steps to protect the lives of human beings. These are all lies being taught to human beings by governments using information supplied to them by the experts who cannot at this point identify and examine the evidence we are bringing to them about crimes being committed from inside the fourth dimension by a group of government agents, including Donald J. Trump and company, in order to destroy the lives of, exterminate the lives of billions of human beings in our lifetimes. But this will not take place. They will, though, keep trying, but the members of the Committee of Gods will not allow them to continue to wage this war against the human race using this stolen, weaponized technology from inside the fourth dimension to attack the Avatar and millions of human beings today by infecting their bodies with this mucus, not a virus, and causing many of them to die, especially those with weakened immune system.
What they don't know is that these people come to your homes while you're sleeping,
Hmm.
to different people all over that they don't want to stay alive, and they
Hmm.
give them they keep shooting more stuff into them until they die,
Hmm.
and that's how they're dying, not through the virus giving them the cold. That's just one thing, but when you keep shooting up more and more while these people are sleeping, and this is what Mr. Trump and others are doing, like Como, and there that's why he said that they were
Targets.
targets, but they
Mhm.
weren't targets. They were the ones targeting people like me for being a nationality
And for being a god, he's
who
here to.
who is caring and what is there to for all of you.
Mhm.
But you did not treat me that way. And when you treat people in the manner in which I was treated,
Still are.
yes, still is being treated, you'll find out very soon that whatever that person became after your tyranny and those all the masses of people you used to terrorize them is what is going to be your downfall. You are going to fall in the same bracket,
Hmm.
worse than ever. Why? Because what you are doing is evil.
Hmm.
When you dangle with evil and forcing other people to tolerate your evil, what you do, yesterday, do you know what they did to me? I'm lying down and sitting down on my bed in this motel,
Hmm.
and they were moving my kneecaps so much. So the fact it was that I couldn't move my foot. I was screaming each time I tried to even move, budge my foot a little bit.
Yes.
Not even to move it as yet.
It was
Just to
paralyzed.
what they did was literally set me up to have the kind so much pain that my husband had to find ways to help me
Hmm.
by bringing some hot water in a hot water bottle.
Hmm. And lift your feet up off the floor
Yes.
onto the bed so they can lie
But it
down.
wasn't going on the bed
Hmm.
because I couldn't move it, too much pain.
Hmm.
What I had to do, what he did was he put the heat on my foot,
Yeah.
on that same foot that was doing that. And then for a short while, he started saying, maybe you should get up, see if you can go up on the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried, but it was extreme pain. So I sat there, and he still held this stuff until it reached a certain point where I could now try to lift my body from the by doing my holding my butt, pulling my body up this way, so that I can go on the further up on the bed and possibly help myself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did that, but it took a long time before I could get to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time I got up on the bed, I was shocked that I was able to do it. But he was the one holding it down and making sure that my foot gets better. And by the time I got on the bed, true, it was still hurting, but not as much as it was when I was just trying to lift my foot. It was extreme pain. I want these people locked up.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for mental cases to be put in jail. Why? Because those are the people that the government sent to do this evil. The government is a part of it. They need to be locked up in the United States and in Canada.
Mm-hmm. We reached
And
our
before they do that, they need to pay the money,
yes.
every cent.
Mm-hmm. We reached an hour into the broadcast, and I don't know if you want to wind it down now, but or
I cannot give you all the information that I have from what has been done to myself and my family.
mm-hmm.
But I want you to know this. If anything should happen to me or any of my family
Mm-hmm.
or anybody else in this world that the government of the United States and Canada is a part of, I think it's important that these people should be locked up
Mm-hmm.
because they do not care about the rights of others. They are terrorizing and torturing, and they're using others to help them.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the people they're using, much more people, I'm certain. I'm not, I don't know that for a fact, but I'm certain that, according to my husband, that is a lot of
A
people being,
network of
yeah, being
government
done this to.
agents.
So please take things seriously, make changes so that people can live in a manner in which they were born to rather than what they're forced to become. This is not the way for people to live. And I'm disappointed in the kind of people that are calling themselves stars or other people call stars. Not all of them are bad,
Mm-hmm.
but too many of them have some bad ways about them. And they should not be allowed the freedom to be stars when they're behaving like people who do not know how to conduct themselves and they're spending their times terrorizing other people.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching this to happen to a lot of people for years while it was happening to me. This is not something to play with. This is something to get rid of. You've been watching A New Way of Being, hosted by Avatar Galextra
With Andraggon.
on Facebook Live.
Mm-hmm. Oh no,
On
used to be on
YouTube.
Facebook Live till they
YouTube
blocked
Live.
us from broadcasting on their social media platform. Why? You will find out.
Do you know what I have to do on an everyday basis? I have to smoke a
Mm-hmm.
marijuana cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't do it all the time, but I do have to.
Yes.
Because if I don't, I would have been mad by now.
Mm-hmm.
And there are many other things that I have to do in order to protect myself. This is the kind of stuff that terrorism puts on people, on good people who care about others, who know that these children needs help and is trying to give it, and they would not even allow your right to be able to help those that you know could use the help.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have blocked me for so long I can't even help myself.
You will.
This tyranny has got to stop.
When, yeah.
And I would like to have my money immediately, starting like tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. Blessings to you,
Yes.
and I wish you all the best. Take care and goodbye.